Laboratory in Pennsylvania comes the Señor Fancypants Show. It is the single greatest family-friendly podcast in the suburbs of Philadelphia. Please give it up for your host, Señor Brian Fancypants.
Hey, that's me. All right, welcome to episode 9 of the Señor Fancypants Show. We've got a spectacular show for you today. My co-host Lincoln is here.
Hi.
Well said. Now today we're going to be talking a little bit about Egypt.
We're also going to be talking about camels.
There's also going to be some awesomely bad jokes later on in the show, so be ready for that. Things have been going great here at Señor Fancypants headquarters. We have been getting ready for Christmas. Our tree is up and looks great. Lincoln is almost done making his Christmas wish list. How's that going, Lincoln? Is it almost done?
Yeah.
What's the number one thing on your list this year?
An Xbox One.
Wow, that's a pretty expensive gift, but an awesome one. Good choice. We are currently working on a very special Christmas episode of the show, and that should be available sometime the week before Christmas. That's going to be a fun show, so get ready for that one. All right, but let's start today's show. It's been a few weeks since the last episode because things have been crazy around here, but something really cool happened at the end of last month that not enough people seem to be talking about, so let's talk about it. NASA accomplished something amazing on November 26th. For those who don't know what NASA is, it is the abbreviation for the National Aeronautic and Space Administration, also known as the Space Program. Lincoln, do you know what NASA just accomplished?
Yes, they landed something on Mars.
That's right, they landed something on Mars. And just what was it? Was it a toaster? No! NASA successfully landed another unmanned spacecraft on Mars. This one is called the Mars InSight. InSight is an acronym for Interior Exploration Using Seismic Investigations, Geodesy, and Heat Transport. Now, if you have no idea what that means, you're not alone. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm sure it's pretty cool. The Mars InSight was designed to study the deep interior of the planet Mars. It launched on May 5th, so the journey was extremely long.
It took over 6 months to get there.
Wow, that is a long time. And then when it did get there, the landing was extremely complicated, so congratulations, NASA. We are looking forward to seeing what else you discover on Mars. Lincoln, can you believe that the Mars InSight project only cost $830 million?
No.
I know, so cheap. I'm thinking about saving up for one myself. I should have the money by the time I'm 207 years old. Okay, now we're going to do something that we've never done before on the show. How about that? What do you think, Lincoln?
We're going to talk about board games.
That's right, we're going to talk about board games. We've recently been trying to get more into playing board games, so I picked up a few new ones recently. The first one is called
Crossfire.
Yes, Crossfire. Crossfire is a game that I used to play when I was 12 years old, and I haven't seen it in stores for over 20 years. But I saw it recently when I was walking through a store that I'm not going to name here on the show, and I had to buy it so I could show Lincoln. It turns out that the Hasbro company just re-released Crossfire, and I'm pretty excited about it. So we have the game, and Crossfire, it's a very simple game. It involves shooting little silver marbles at 2 objects in the middle of the play area. The objects are referred to as pucks, like in hockey pucks. One is a triangle, and one is a star shape. Now you have to try to get the pucks into the goal on your opponent's side. And the game board has raised sides so the marbles can't get out. It's a fast-paced game that requires you to concentrate on shooting your marbles at the objects while also reloading marbles at the same time. And even though it's an incredibly simple game, we think it's pretty fun. The only downside is that the trigger on the marble shooters can be a little tough to press down if you don't have strong enough hands.
The marble shooters get jammed easily, so you have to shake them often.
Yeah, otherwise it's a fun game. I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars just because I think the marble shooters could be better. What about you, Lincoln? What do you think of the game?
I think it's pretty good.
All right, and what would you give it? What rating would you give it?
4 out of 5.
You agree? 4 out of 5?
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Now, the only reason I say that is because I just think those marble shooters are a little tough to shoot, and I'd even be willing to pay more for the game if they made that improvement. So, if you are the creator of Crossfire and you're listening to this, I think your name might be Robert Crossfire or something. Your game is cool, but it could definitely use better marble shooters.
There's no Robert Crossfire.
Yeah, I know, but that would be a really cool name. All right, so we also picked up another new game, and that is the brand new Home Alone card game. If you are unfamiliar with Home Alone, it's one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. And if your parents say that you're old enough to watch it, then you should definitely check it out. Lincoln's seen it already. Lincoln, what are your thoughts on the movie Home Alone?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good, or it's incredible? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Home Alone.
It is Home Alone? Then yes, it is pretty good. Now, for those who haven't seen it, it's about an 8-year-old boy named Kevin who accidentally gets left behind when his family goes on vacation to Paris. He finds out that some burglars are planning to come rob his family home, and he decides he has to defend his home by setting up creative traps around the house. Now, we've had a chance to play the new card game just once so far, and it was a good time. It was pretty fun, and we'll probably play it again pretty soon. But basically how it goes is, if you're playing according to the 2-player rules, one person is the Kevin character, and the other plays as the robbers.
Marv and Harry.
That's right, Marv and Harry. The rules are a little confusing at first, but once you start playing, it's pretty easy to catch on. Now, the robbers are trying to steal at least $2,000 worth of stuff from Kevin's family home, and Kevin is setting traps to try and stop them. And it's all played using cards, so there aren't really any cool game pieces. It would be really cool, though, if someone made a Home Alone game with real character pieces and traps and stuff. But even so, this game was still pretty fun. Now, I'm not ready to give it a rating yet, but if you can get it for a good price, and you're a Home Alone fan like Lincoln and I, then it's probably worth your time. Wouldn't you say, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to play that again soon. All right, so next we're going to get into our Place of the Day segment, but first I want to play one of my songs about traveling.
Here is Señor Fancypants with the song Road Trip.
There's 1,000 miles of road ahead, 1,000 miles behind. We just stopped in Kansas to see the largest ball of twine. I'm checking all the license plates on every car I see. I somehow found Alaska when we drove through Tennessee. I spy with my little eye the open road and the big blue sky. We're on a road trip, cruising in the USA. We're on a road trip. We've been riding in the car all day. We sing along to every song on the radio. We make up our own lyrics to the ones that we don't know. Tomorrow we will dip our toes in California sand, and in only 18 hours we will get to Disneyland. I spy with my little eye the open road and the big blue sky. We're on a road trip, cruising in the USA. We're on a road trip. We've been riding in the car all day. Things are getting tense in the backseat. We're running out of games to play. We've been talking for so many hours, we're running out of things to say. But that doesn't stop us from yelling or pulling on each other's hair, or asking over and over again, Daddy, are we almost there? Dad says he will turn the car around if we can't figure out how to keep it down, but he never does. He just keeps driving. We're on a road trip, cruising in the USA. We're on a road trip, a road trip. We've been riding in the car all day. We're on a road trip, cruising in the USA. We're on a road trip, we've been riding in the car all day. Someday we'll look back on this and all of us will smile, remembering that summer when we drove 1,000,000 miles.
Awesome. That's actually one of my favorite songs on my CD. Lincoln, what's your favorite song on the Señor Fancypants album?
Sandcastles.
Oh, good. I like that one too. Would you say, Lincoln, that the Señor Fancypants album makes a great Christmas present?
Yeah, it would make a really good Christmas present.
Yeah, everyone should go and get it. All right, so today we are going to talk about a place that I've always wanted to visit, and hopefully I'll get a chance to someday. What country is it?
Egypt.
Yes, Egypt is a country located in the northeast corner of Africa and the southwest corner of Asia. But most of Egypt is in Africa. The only part of Egypt that is in Asia is an area known as the Sinai Peninsula, or just Sinai. All right, here are a few more facts about the great country of Egypt, as well as some facts about ancient Egypt.
Egypt has a population of over 100 million people.
As of right now, it is the 14th largest country by population.
The capital of Egypt is called Cairo.
Cairo is the largest city in Egypt. Around 9.7 million people live there. Cairo is the location of Egypt's most famous pyramids, including the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. You can also see a very famous statue called the Sphinx in Cairo. The Sphinx is a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human.
The official language of Egypt is Arabic.
Around 420 million people in the world speak Arabic. It is the 6th most spoken language in the world.
The Nile River flows through Egypt.
The Nile River is known as the longest river in the world. It is 4,258 miles long, which is about 6,853 kilometers. Just over 20% of the Nile River is located in Egypt. Then the rest goes south through several other African countries.
Egypt is very dry.
The city of Cairo only gets around 1 inch of rain per year. That's about 25 millimeters. Here in the Philadelphia area, we get an average rainfall total of about 41 inches of rain per year. So yeah, Egypt is pretty dry. It's a good thing they've got the Nile River. I'm sure that's been very helpful.
The money they use in Egypt is called the Egyptian pound.
Right now, you can exchange $1 US for about 18 Egyptian pounds, or 1 British pound for just under 23 Egyptian pounds. And 1 Australian dollar will get you almost 13 Egyptian pounds. If you want to find out other exchange rates, Google it. I don't have time to list them all, and I'm sure that not everyone finds exchange rates interesting.
About 90% of Egypt is desert.
Like we said, Egypt is very dry. Most of northern Africa is covered by the Sahara Desert. The word Sahara in Arabic means the Great Desert.
Cats were very special to the ancient Egyptians.
Yeah, they thought cats were magical and would bring you good luck if you had them in your house. They were also very helpful for protecting their houses from rodents and venomous snakes. At one time in ancient Egypt, killing a cat was punishable by death, even if it was an accident. So yeah, you could say that cats were pretty important.
Ancient Egyptians invented the 365-day calendar.
I didn't know that. And I'm a huge fan of the 365-day calendar. I follow it every year. It really helps me to know when things are.
The oldest dress in the world was found in Egypt.
It has been named the Tarkan dress, and it is estimated to be over 5,000 years old and totally out of style.
The stones used to make the pyramids are very heavy.
Yeah, the smaller stones weighed over 1 ton, that's 2,000 pounds. And some of the larger stones weighed up to 10 tons, which is 20,000 pounds. 20,000 pounds is about 9,071 kilograms for all you Australian listeners. Back in ancient Egypt, they didn't have all the fancy construction equipment that we have now. We still don't know exactly how they moved all of those pyramid stones, but it must have been very difficult. All right, let's do one more fact.
Ancient Egyptians liked to play board games.
They didn't have Crossfire or the Home Alone card game, but there are several ancient paintings that show ancient Egyptians playing board games. So that's how they managed to survive without iPhones. Now, these are of course only a few facts about Egypt. Egypt has been around for a very long time and has a fascinating history. So go to your local library and ask for some books about Egypt. I'm sure they will have plenty.
There's a Pizza Hut that I know, where you can look out the window and see the pyramids of Giza while eating sausage pizza. Pyramids and pizza, pizza and pyramids. There's a Pizza Hut that I know, where you can look out the window and see the pyramids of Giza while eating mushroom pizza. Pyramids and pizza, pizza and pyramids. Pizza and pyramids, pizza and pyramids.
That song was brought to you by Stairs.
Stairs, one of the top 3 ways to get to the higher levels of a building. Stairs, climb some today. All right, let's talk about an animal.
Animals are cool. Here are some facts about one of them.
All right, today's animal actually goes along with our place of the day.
We're going to be talking about camels.
There are a lot of camels in Egypt, so without further ado, here are some camel facts.
There are 2 types of camels.
The 2 types are dromedary and Bactrian. Dromedary camels have 1 hump, and Bactrian camels have 2 humps. 90% of camels are dromedary camels, so we're going to focus on them since they're the ones that you would see in Egypt.
Camels can drink over 40 gallons of water in one go.
That's just over 151 liters. They can drink quickly too. In just 13 minutes, camels can drink around 30 gallons of water. That's about 113 liters.
Camels live a long time.
They typically live between 40 and 50 years. So if you're thinking about getting a pet camel, it's a very long commitment, so make sure you think about that.
Camels can close their nostrils.
This helps them protect their nose during sandstorms. They also have 3 sets of eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes to help keep the sand out of their eyes.
Camel humps are used to store fat.
A lot of people think camel humps are full of water, but they're actually filled up with 80 pounds of fat. This stored fat can be used to give them energy if they don't have access to food.
Camels are fast.
They sure are. They can run up to 40 miles per hour. That's around 64 kilometers per hour.
They are often used to transport things through the desert.
Yeah, camels can carry over 200 pounds on their back without getting hurt. When they're carrying heavy loads, they can normally travel about 25 miles per day, or around 40 kilometers.
Camels are known to spit when they're angry.
It's not just saliva, though. They are actually throwing up the contents of their stomach, so you really don't want to make them angry, unless camel vomit doesn't bother you.
Camels are herbivores.
Yes, and sometimes they need to eat hard, thorny desert plants, which is okay because their mouths have a thick, leathery lining that helps them eat that kind of stuff. All right, one last fact about camels.
Baby camels are born without humps.
A baby camel is called a calf, and they don't start to develop their hump until they start eating solid foods. Another interesting thing about camel calves is that they start walking beside their mothers within half an hour of being born. So, camels are cool, and those were some facts about them. Alright, now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for some awesomely bad jokes. Today's jokes are sponsored by our good friend Keith Brockway. So we'll start with a joke from Keith.
What is the leading cause of dry skin?
Towels. Get it? Yeah, you get it because towels dry your skin. Whatever. All right, here's one from Ian from the Chicago area.
What did the 0 say to the 8?
Nice belt. You get it, Lincoln?
Yeah,
Yeah, why is that one funny?
because it's like a 0 put on a belt and it's like
And
tightening
it looks like
it.
yeah, so then it looks like an 8. Yeah, it's so much funnier when you explain it, isn't it? All right, here's one from Kristen in Pennsylvania.
What do you call a magic dog?
A labracadabrador. Okay, these jokes are gold. And here's one from Dave in Pennsylvania.
What's green and has wheels?
I don't know.
Grass. I lied about the wheels.
Ah, you're always lying about wheels. All right. The next one comes from John in New Jersey.
Why was the math book sad?
Because it had so many problems. Genius. And our final joke today is from Sharon from California.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants?
In case he got a hole in one. Get it, Lincoln? Like a hole in one in golf? But it's a hole in the pants? Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, those are today's jokes. I hope they were life-changing. Actually, I assume they were life-changing. Okay, today's show is almost over, but we hope you had a great time hanging out with us. Thank you so much for listening, and please tell your friends about our show. My agent tells me that if you want to have a successful podcast, you need people to listen to it. That is great advice. All right, we're going to be working very hard on our special Christmas episode this week, and we're going to be releasing it by the end of next week, whether it's ready or not. Now, before we end this show, we want to play a song from one of our favorite kids' music writers, Justin Roberts. And since we talked about camels on the show today, we thought it would be appropriate to play one of Justin's songs that has a camel character in it. It comes from his album Way Out, and it has some very cool horn parts on it. So here you go. This is the title track from that album. This song is called Way Out by Justin Roberts. Enjoy.
There lives a camel, you could call him Samuel, and he hums to the sun so quietly. Yeah, but secretly he would rather be out on that deep blue sea, somewhere way out, way out, way out, way out, way out on that deep blue sea, somewhere way out, way out, way out, way out, way out on that deep blue sea. There lives a starfish, wants to be a carfish, but there's no such thing, he's always told. So he swims through the sea, yeah, but secretly dreams of that open road, somewhere way out, way out, way out, way out, way out on that open road, somewhere way out, way out, way out, way out, way out on that open road. There lives a woman, she drives a Datsun, best friend Watson the cat lends a hand. Secretly they would rather be sitting silently on the soft silky sand somewhere. Way out, way out, way out, way out, way out on that desert sand. There lives a camel, you could call him Samuel, and he croons to the moon as the lights grow dim. Yeah, he sings to the sky, he hears the same reply, and it makes all the difference to him. Someone somewhere was singing, way out, way out, way out, way out. Sing this song as loud as you dare. Sing way out, way out, way out, way out. And remember, there's a camel somewhere.